I've had people ask about my ghillie suit. We're going to do a pack dump for you after this video, but I keep everything in trash bags. This is the way I pack it away. So I turn the sleeve suit inside out and roll it up. Okay, but this is the way it looked in the boonie. There's an opening somewhere in there. This is the way it looks. Once this raffia wears in a little bit, wrinkles up from being folded in, I don't know, I killed that 12-pointer in it. 3 yards sitting on the ground wearing this ghillie suit. And here is the unboxing. As most of you know, I'm a bow hunter and I like to hunt from the ground. If you watch my videos, you know I like ghillie suits. I love them when I hunt from the ground. We're going to step it up a notch. We are going to craft us an awesome ghillie suit. So we have all kinds of treasures in here. Brown zip ties. Look, they even sent me a present. Wonder what's in there. We'll look at it in a minute. So the way this works is depending upon where you're going to be hunting at and what time of year, you buy these plastic leaves. And it's not very expensive. And they have push pins that go into there, that go into the ghillie suit. So you can do what's called crafting and craft this just like you want. So I thought maybe some of you would enjoy going along for the ride. I won't be using these right away. Way too green. The leaves have already browned up, but I think those are going to work perfect for next weekend's out-of-state hunt. So this is the face mask, and let me tell you, I have tons of face masks. I have all those yarn ghillie suits. I have never seen anything made as tough as this. I mean, this thing is made like a... But it's got a drawstring in here where you can cinch this up to close it all the way off. Pinch your nose out if you want. And then there's another drawstring in the back to get your... But see, it's got these elastic bands. It's a boonie hat. And it has these elastic spots all over for you to put natural veg in. And this thing is not that expensive. This is for airsoft play. Instead of going to Bass Pro and spending the same amount of money on a junk piece of cloth, I highly recommend this. See the boonie cap part? And this camo is called Amber. They have 5 or 6 different varieties, but when you're hunting the fall and the rut, all the leaves have already changed. But you can see how many spots they have. Put your natural veg in there. My plan, this is just an arm suit. This is all open, but I'm putting it on backwards. And we can put these leaves wherever we want. And we can stick all that natural foliage in, and we can put some raffia in there if I'm sitting on the ground in some weeds. But see, you can put them leaves, cut them however you want. But this was my plan. You can see that this is an airsoft ghillie suit now, right? This is open for your chest rig so you can get to your magazines and everything. I don't care about the back. I don't care if my back's camouflaged or not. My plan was, I'm just putting the thing on backwards so then I have it the front, and if I'm always up against a backdrop or something, so I don't care what. So I'm just going to put it on like a hospital smock like this and just put it on backwards. Because I'm usually up against something anyways. Nothing's going to see my back. I'm not going to lay on the ground. We can sit. We're going to craft all these leaves. I picked these. I thought these would look great this time of year, and I think they will. So the brown zip ties are for halo screen. The way these leaves work, see there's a little hole right there? You have these little plastic push pins that you're going to stick in there in the holes inside in these holes in the netting. This stuff, I mean, this thing it's heavy, it's well built. See, it's double seamed. I mean, I'm just really impressed with the quality. And as the seasons change, you just pull your leaves off and put new ones in. They're not real expensive. I mean, it's a whole lot cheaper to buy it from this company than it is, say, going to Hobby Lobby. Because see, you get, how many is that? And they were on sale for like $8. And you get how many? Look at them. Okay guys, this is what I'm going to attempt to do. I'm going to use some catfish trot line to make these loops. I mean, this is the most heavy-duty ghillie suit I've ever seen. I mean, look at this. The construction is outstanding. But the problem is, the only size they make this in is medium and large, which I can fit in it, no problem. But, so this is how it's designed to be worn. So you have your chest rig out here and you're rolling on the ground, but I'm not rolling on the ground. I'm going to be hunting in probably Kansas on fence lines. So what I planned on doing was putting it on backwards. But see these sleeves? They fit just fine with a t-shirt, bare skin. It's fine. It's going to be 10 degrees and I'm going to have to wear a coat. And these sleeves will not fit over a coat. So that's what I'm going to try and craft up here. I'm going to literally cut the seam open. Then I plan on attaching some raffia to it because I will be hunting on fence lines basically. And I'll blend into the weeds pretty good. And this ghillie has got loops all throughout it. Either that, we'll stick the raffia through these holes and tie knots in it. So this is how I plan on wearing it. I'm just going to put it on backwards. All I care about is this part right here. I don't really care. I'm going to be sitting on a chair and no one's going to see me from behind. But see, I got all these nice loops. I can attach that raffia all over my front. I don't wear a bino harness or anything. I'm going to blend in great. So that's my plan. This seam is double stitched, but my plan is just take an X-Acto knife or something and we're going to cut that seam open right there and just widen it up so I can put it over a coat. For years I wore these string ghillies. I mean, it's not even ute, it's just yarn. And to be honest with you, this cost almost as much as the Novritsch suit. And the Novritsch is so much better quality. But this was the veil. I mean, it worked. I just don't think you look like a Wookiee. Okay, see, if I attempt to put this sleeve on, I can only get to like there. It just will not. There's no room. All it's doing is pushing the sleeve up. There's no way of getting my arm in there. So what I'm attempting to do is I'm going to open this seam up. I'm hoping not to take it any further past there. But see, this thing even has tie downs for your sleeve. I don't need it that tight around my wrist. And when you get up to the other end, we have more tie downs again. But look how high quality that is. Look at that. I mean, of course, manufacturing, it don't cost that much for a piece of plastic. I mean, I can't say enough about the quality of this. I was trying to figure out how in the world they sewed this, but I think what they did was they sewed this seam, then they flipped it over and backstitched there. So we just turned it inside out, and we're going to go get us a scalpel and try and open this seam up. I don't know, this catfish line is going to be, my thought is to just put a loop here, here, and up here. And when I contacted the awesome customer support, and they suggested that I take it to a seamstress and have them put elastic strips in through there, which I really don't want to do that. I mean, I don't care if it dangles loose. I mean, what's the big deal, right? I mean, that's the point of a ghillie, right? Okay, we just used a little pair of scissors because I can't find my seam ripper. And we pulled this apart so we could get cut one string. I have no way of holding my phone and doing this, but once we cut that thread, we can just keep going with it, just like that. Okay, before I get too far ahead, I'm going to try and put a couple stitches in so we don't lose our alignment, so I don't have to figure it out later. So that's what I'm trying to go with, is that right there. Once I make it, we're just going to tie a simple overhand knot on the back side, because I think that's all it'll take to keep it from pulling through. And then on this side, I'm going to leave it loose so we can adjust to figure out exactly how much extra loop we're going to need. Okay, that's going to work. See that? Now what I wanted to be able to do is, I don't know, I'm not a seamstress, but now I know how much I can pull this in, and we just put us another overhand knot right there, and we can draw it up so I can rotate it a little bit. But see, I'm wearing a heavy winter coat. I'm not wearing my... See that? The front's going to work just fine. Put that raffia in there. We're going to put us a bunch of more stitches. I might open up the armpit a little bit more, but I think it's going to work just fine. It's a heavy winter coat. But see, when I'm seated, that's all anything's going to see. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be seated like this. Nothing's going to see that. We're going to put that raffia all over it. The other thing about having a half suit like this is this will go in a backpack and only take up half as much room as if it was a full suit. So something that'll help tremendously feed if you go with something like this trot line is if you take this out and take a lighter to it and heat it up till it's melting, and then you take a paper towel and squeeze the end and turn it into a pointed end, it'll feed right through it. See, if you torch the ends like that, it'll feed right through there. Then we'll just tie a knot, put it back on, put the coat on, see how much we need, and we're going to tie us little overhand knots along there, and then we will clip off the excess. Well, guys, I have too much green.